Oh,
and a good jump up here with
and
you.
a good jump up.
How's it going?
We're live on the air, and I just was talking about Mike Lindell, and now we're going to talk about you. Of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene joining us all here at the watch party.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
When you asked how Arizona is, corrupt.
Yeah. Mike, how's it going? How you doing?
Doing fine.
Glad you're here.
All right, we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Made it in here. It's a lot of people here.
Oh my gosh, it's great. This is going to be the biggest victory. I tell you what, you know what? Nikki Haley may not drop out after tonight. She might be dumb enough to go all the way to South Carolina, where she will be defeated and it'll be embarrassing. But we just heard an interesting statistic,
Okay.
Brian, and there are more independents and more Democrats voting in the Republican primary here in New Hampshire than has ever happened in history. So I think we see people coming for President Trump, and we know exactly what this is.
Well, we saw one location actually report that they had run out of ballots to switch your voting registration. So
I'm not surprised to hear that. According to the exit polls, there are independents and Democrats voting like crazy in the Republican primary. We know what this is. We saw it in 2020. This is an effort by the establishment, by the Democrats, to make a victory happen or try to pump the numbers up for Nikki Haley. It's not going to happen, Brian. There's no way.
There's no way. Here's the latest numbers right now, according to the election headquarters. Trump's at 55.5, Nikki Haley 43.8. That's percentage. I'm sorry. That is percentage of votes that are in, and we'll try to get a little bit more numbers on that. Decision Desk has just called it for President Trump. Decision Desk has just called it for President Trump, reporting just now. And this is no surprise, Marjorie.
No, it's no surprise. We've been calling this since 2021. It was always going to happen. Of course, Nikki Haley was going to lose. She's just stupid enough to stay in the race, Brian. We are done with the neocons. We are done with the Republican rhino establishment. We're sick and tired of the uniparty. This is a referendum on the Republican Party, and they better listen up because they have been sent a message loud and clear. We are sick of their ways. It's time for America first, and it's happening tonight.
So now we need to shift our attention to Joe Biden. I asked President Trump earlier about that. And he says, look, I've been turning my attention to Joe Biden since the 2020 election, but what should we continue to do? Hammer down on the gas as far as talk about the economy, talk about the border, and just really hold Biden accountable for not only what he's done to this country, but what they're continuing to do to our country.
Oh, Americans are feeling it, Brian. Not only do we need to hammer down on the truth, and it's so easy to do. Well, you have the Biden campaign and the Biden administration trying to lie to people about what they feel with their paychecks, what they feel with their wallets, what they feel with their savings account. They can't lie their way out of this problem that they have created. You know, a wide open border, causing illegal aliens to flood our country with an invasion we've never seen in history, never-ending wars, creating a war in Ukraine and supporting it with the federal government, fighting a proxy war with Russia, and then listen, DEI. These were normal letters of the alphabet, but it's now true racism in hiring practices across the country and woke policies trying to brainwash children that they can change their gender. This is not winning policies for the Biden administration, and they cannot do anything to win this election. What we need people to do, Brian, is we need people to turn out. This year, we cannot be lazy. We cannot sit back. We need to send the message to the federal government. It's America first, and that's it. That's the only way forward.
Okay, earlier we were at a high school, at a voting location. You had a great time before President Trump showed up. You were interacting with the kids and stuff. What was the mood like there? But before Trump got there, what was the mood like?
It was incredible. I have to tell you, that was so organic. All these people started showing up, and they were all people from New Hampshire. And they were so excited because they're excited that President Trump is here on the ground. They were excited to vote for him, and they were excited just to be a part of it all. And their enthusiasm is overwhelming. And this is the same enthusiasm that we see all over the country. We're not just seeing it in New Hampshire. We're seeing it in New York City. We're seeing it in California. We're seeing it in Georgia. We're seeing it all over. We're going to see it in Nevada next. We're going to see it in South Carolina, and it's going to blow everyone away. People are ready. We're ready to save America, and we're ready to put America first.
Yeah, and we were talking to Byron Donalds earlier about people that have been agnostic in voting on either side are now seeing that, wait a minute, this President Trump's America First agenda actually works. Do you think that's only going to accelerate as we get closer to November?
Oh, I totally do. Here's what's the most impressive thing happening. The Republican Party is gaining voters, and they're only gaining voters because of President Trump. They're gaining voters because so many Americans are totally done. They're tired of being lied to. They're tired of saying, you got to vote Democrat because you're a minority. You have to vote Democrat because of your job. You have to vote Democrat because of whatever the identity issue is. And that's a lie that has been sold to Americans all this time. And we are seeing people cross over like never before. You know, here's the issue. People have been voting Democrat or Republican for decades, kind of like it's like a team sport. But it's not a sport. It's about policy. And the Republican Party is the party that President Trump is taking over. And the referendum tonight is happening, and it's happening from the people. This is the people telling the Republican Party, we're sick and tired of your BS. We're sick and tired of your America Last. We're tired of the neocons. We're tired of the globalism, and we're tired of the uniparty. So this is the referendum on the Republican Party, and if the Republican Party listens to the voters, they're going to bring in more voters than they have ever had before, and that's because of President Trump, and that's because of America First.
Okay, let's talk about Georgia. You've got Mike Collins right next to us. He's over here. Let's bring him in. Let's all three of us get here for a second.
Come on, Mike.
Sure. Yeah. There we go. A little three-shot here. Georgia, it's a swing state. Yeah. Georgia's red, but
we're going to argue with you.
Okay,
we're going to argue with you. It's not a swing state. Georgia is a Republican state, and we're going to be fighting for it. What do you think, Mike?
Walk me through this.
No, well, it is a red state, and we had a big change in the 2020 election, but we have fixed a lot of that. The thing that we've got to do as the Republican Party is, when it gets time to vote, we've got to start stop the policy talk and start talking about process. Now's the time to vote. If we're going to have an election season, make sure that people go out there and vote, because Republicans have always been notorious for waiting till election day to go vote. And so things happen, and we've got to get past that. We've got to play the game. I don't like drop boxes, but if we're going to use them, we got to use them.
There we go. The crowd obviously responding to the numbers. Trump won.
Trump won. Trump won. That's awesome. We knew he was going to win.
That means it's time to close this primary down.
Let's listen in. That's great. Great. That is, but you know what? We've all talked about that. Throwing out some hats to people. I don't know if you can get a shot of that. Maybe not.
Trump won. Yeah, like we didn't know. Exactly. This is awesome.
Yeah, but you know, let's think about this for a second as we kind of, you know, we move to now. We go to Nevada. Of course, there's a caucus and a primary. Nikki Haley is not in the caucus, and the caucus is the only thing that gives you delegates. She's skipping that because she knows she can't win. So does she drop? But then she goes to her home state.
But she can't win in South Carolina either.
Nope.
I mean, in my opinion, what she needs to do, she's got a little rally or whatever she's going to have in South Carolina tomorrow. Go ahead and use that as your speech that you're getting out of the race, and you're putting your weight behind President Trump.
Well, you know what we're really seeing tonight is there is something coming out. Out of the exit polls, we're seeing more independents, more Democrats voting in the Republican primary here in New Hampshire. These are fake numbers. Nikki Haley does not have this much support. She's going to come out and claim that she's rising in the polls. All these fake news media people up here on this platform are going to claim that Nikki Haley is rising in the polls. It's a total, complete lie, absolute lie. Tonight, Nikki Haley was defeated. The problem is she's going to be dumb enough and she's going to be a fake candidate and she's going to keep going and we are going to destroy her in South Carolina. It's going to be a complete humiliation. I can't wait to see it happen, so I'm fired up.
And we will. Unfortunately, we will. And we shouldn't have to do that. Well, what should happen is she should go ahead and drop out and get out of this.
Let me ask you a question. Is it the donors and the consultants? The consultants, they want to say, keep going, Nikki. Keep going. Keep fundraising.
Get another paycheck, you know. But yeah, it's time to coalesce around Trump. You know, the guy has been in the lead since the summer where he was up 40 points at one time. It was obvious then. It shouldn't be any more obvious than right now what should happen. We need to be hammering away at the general election and make sure that we turn out to vote November.
We're going to say this. Drop out, Nikki, because you are a loser. Drop out.
Maybe we can start the hashtag drop out, Nikki. Drop out. Maybe get that trending. All it takes is one tweet from you. Real quick before I let you go, let's talk about Fani Willis and what's going on in Georgia. Our viewers, I tell you something, guys. Our viewers cannot stand what's happening in Georgia right now. They are so pissed off, and that's the lack of a better word. Where are we at with all this?
I think it's obvious that Fannie has had her eye on somebody else's fanny and not a court case. And I think the wheels are coming off that bus in short order. So
definitely. Well, you know, when you're Fani Willis and Nathan Wade and you're colluding with the January 6th committee, you're colluding with the White House, and you're creating your prosecution plans between the sheets, then you've got a bad case going on. This needs to be a criminal investigation. Governor Kemp, Attorney General Chris Carr need to open up a criminal investigation against Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. The oversight committee's great. We need to go after DAs in our state that are corrupt and are not doing their job, but I really think they need to go a lot further with Fani Willis and Nathan Wade.
Oh, they do. And the thing is, I think as you see just a little bit more and more information come out, it will become an avalanche. I mean, it's just like a snowball going downhill. Yep. People are going to understand, hey, I better get out there and tell what I know, because if I don't, then I'm liable to be in just as much trouble. So, you know, you're going to see a lot more information. And it's not just this case. You know, I find it so amazing that Donald Trump was just so revered and was one of the greatest Americans to date until he got into the presidency. Then all of a sudden, he was the boogeyman. And people don't buy that. They don't. They see through that farce. And these court cases, they're going to start falling apart. They already are. And people are understanding that it is just another way of the deep state trying to make sure that we do not take our country back. But I guarantee you one thing, come November, we're going to put Trump back in the White House. We're taking our country back.
Take this country back. Amen to that. Great. I mean, this crowd now is turned out to a party. You know, it was usually a watch party. It's no longer a watch. It's just a party at this point because President Trump has won New Hampshire. Well,
what time is it? He won, like, what time did he won before?
It is 8:13. He won before 8 o'clock.
Let me tell you, I was meeting with the Trump campaign last night, and they said, well, we'll see it called maybe close to 9 o'clock.
So he won it. I'm being told he won at 8:03 officially, 8:03.
It's hilarious. Nikki Haley is such a joke. I mean, this primary is over with. Can you imagine being a donor and lighting your money on fire like that? Donating to Nikki Haley, begging her to stay in the race. I mean, these political consultants, they should go to jail for continuing this campaign. I mean, it is so dishonest, I can't even believe it.
From what I understand right now, Biden is not even winning in New Hampshire. Can you get a clarification on the desk? What's the percentage of Biden? You guys can update it in Slack or let me know on air. But Biden, a write-in candidate.
Isn't it a sad state of affairs when you have a Democrat primary going on, you got the president who's Democrat, and they're saying, please write his name in as the candidate. I mean, you know, to me, that just tells you the Democrats don't even want this guy left on the ballot anymore.
The write-in is 51.2, and Biden's at 15.6. So the write-in candidate's smoking Joe Biden right now.
So we can officially say the Biden-Harris campaign has dementia, just like the president. They forgot to put him on the ballot, and their voters are having to write it in, and he's losing. Joe Biden is losing the write-in here in New Hampshire. You can't say anything more pathetic than that.
You can't make that up. Well, Jimmy Kimmel write about that tomorrow night on his show. It's just great stuff. Well, any closing thought? I don't know if you guys said. Does she need to roll? Okay, great. Okay. Well, there's so many media here. I didn't know what her schedule was. I think it's exciting, but I said more importantly, I like the young people that are coming out to vote. Historically, we have not seen a lot of first-time voters. We saw some today. A guy screamed, "Hey, President Trump, I'm a first-time voter. Sign my hat." And we're getting a lot of the first-time voters out.
Yeah, I met several of them actually out at that polling location. It was incredible. They were coming out. They were like, "We're so excited to vote for President Trump. It's our first time voting." There were kids out in the crowd. They were coming out with their parents. Couldn't stop cheering for President Trump. It's really exciting for the future.
Yeah, I tell you what. Earlier, let's see if we can re-rack that OTR stop I had with President Trump. I let you guys in the studio get that set up earlier. I had a chance to ride in the motorcade, which is always exciting when you go to one of these events. And he pulled up at a high school. It was a polling facility, and this is what it looked like and sounded like. Stand by. Check it out.
I'm going to do him. How you doing? Good. After the win tonight, would you then shift and pivot your focus on the national or the general election?
I think I've shifted there already. I mean, I'm looking at Biden. Biden is the worst president in the history of our country. We've never had anybody like him. Jimmy Carter's the happiest man alive today. You know why? His presidency looks brilliant by comparison to Biden. The worst president we've ever had, what he's done to our country, what he's done to the border with millions of people pouring in. People from prisons, from mental institutions, and terrorists are pouring into our country. They do nothing about it. And we're going to be paying a big price, but we'll handle the whole thing. But what they have done to this country is very... That's why you have the people here. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Nice to see you.
How important is it for the party to unify behind you after
We're going to
tonight?
unify the party. The party's going to be unified. It already is unifying. When you look at a crowd like this, and they had no idea I was coming. In fact, 20 minutes ago, I had no idea I was coming. You want to know the truth? They had no idea. And you look at a crowd like this, we're going to have a big victory. We're going to have a big victory. You doing okay?
I am.
I love this guy. And this one and that one. Say it.
Nikki Haley says she won't drop out of this race no matter what happens.
Well, she may not. I don't care if she drops out. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, she said she'd never run. Remember that? So what did that mean? She said, I will never run because he was a great president. I will never run. Then she started running. So what she said doesn't matter, right? Because it doesn't, oftentimes she'll say things that she doesn't mean. But I think that she's worked very hard, but I couldn't care less. If she drops out, that's fine, and if she doesn't. But we go, next stop is Nevada, where we win 100% because nobody, they looked at the polling. I was at 94%, and they didn't register. They didn't want to pay the fee to register. so we win 100% of Nevada, and then we go to South Carolina, and I think I'm winning by 50%. And we have support of almost every. Is it 70? I'm 70. Am I 70? If you said 70, I'm going to sign your hat. If you said 70, I'm going to sign his hat.
That's great.
He's got to be a Trump guy.
You'll be 4-0 after the first 4 primaries.
Look, you always look at it still politics, and this one should be great. So Iowa last week, we thought we were going to do well. We had no idea. We ended up at a tremendous number. That was an all-time record. And well, maybe we do it today.
I heard some of the networks say that if he didn't win by 62 points,
Well, no, they'll set something. They'll say if we didn't win by 114%. Here you go, man. Look at the hair of that guy. Look at the hair of you.
Elvis is back, big guy.
That's pretty good hair. Huh?
President, how do you feel about this crowd
You shouldn't even wear a hat. You'll disturb your hair.
Underneath the hat, that's right. How do you feel about the crowd today coming out for you, Mr. President?
Well, I think it's amazing because nobody knew. 10 minutes ago, I didn't know I was going to be here. And I came here, I said, look at the people. These people are here to vote for us, and that's a great honor.
Have you spoken around?
Now I really feel we might have a chance of a really big day. We're going to make America great again. We're going to make that border so good, so strong, so powerful. The border, I think, has become the biggest issue now. You know, it was number 3, 4, it was always up there. I did such a good job in 2016 that in 2020 it wasn't an issue. The border wasn't even talked about. I wanted to talk about the border. Nobody wanted to talk. This makes the 2016 situation look like nothing. This is the worst border that any country probably has ever had. And I don't think Biden has any idea what he's doing to destroy this country.
Can you comment on what's
Destroy whose hat is it?
Can you comment on what's going on in Texas with Greg Abbott, the Supreme Court rule?
Well, that was a surprising ruling. Very surprising. But we'll get it straightened out because basically they gave the power to the federal government. I understand that. But when I'm in the federal government, they can put up all the wire they want. Okay? They can put up all the wire they want. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President. Get in and vote. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time out here. Get in and vote. Here, take a hat. Here, ready? So long, everybody.
All right, thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go.